Hello, welcome, good evening. We will get started in like 2 minutes. Let people trickle in a little bit. We will get started with a jump rope. So if you got a jump rope handy, go ahead and grab that. Just have that ready to rock and roll. We'll get started here in just a minute or two. And we got a solid evening crew. Jump. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Once you got your jump rope out and ready to go, let's get 50 jumps forward, 25 jumps backwards. If you don't have a jump rope, just get some jumping jacks. That would be totally fine. We'll sub those in for the WOD as well. Once you got 50 forwards, get 25 backwards. Just get the blood going a little bit. Jumping jack along, that's totally fine as well. And that's it. Just getting that heart rate going a little bit. From there, let's get a lunge set back. Reach up tall, shimmy around a bit, open up the hip, reach up. You do you, whatever your body needs. We got 2 passes each side. Hang out 4, 5, 6 seconds on each one. Arch back, side to side, reach up, hang out. Once you got those, let's go nice and wide. We got sunrise good mornings. We'll go 3 each direction. Nice, wide, smooth circles. And then from there, walking it out, let's get 5 push-ups. And then head back to standing. We got knee hug to quad stretch. We'll go just 2 passes each side. And then follow up with 5 squats. Once you got your 5 squats, 3 Jefferson curls. And we'll get another 5 squats. Once you get your 5 squats, let's go arm series. Nice and loose, heavy hands. Take your time, open up the shoulders. From there, a single passive goat stretch. Settle into it, do your best. Once you're done there, let's go back to standing and grab orange skinny band, and we're going high attachment. We'll get a little bit fancier. For now, just throwing it through, cutting it in half. So I look like this. Excuse me. From there, all I'm going to do is get one pull at a time. Pull, pull, pull. 10 each side should be a piece of cake. You're doing a single arm row, one at a time. That's it. 10 each side. Shouldn't be strenuous. We're going to do this movement a little bit later on. We'll add a bit of nuance to it. For now, just crank it away. 10 each side. What's up?
Hi. Did you take your temperature?
Come on. Okay. You're good. From there, we're going to start playing with PVC pipe stuff. So if you have this, fantastic. If you don't, totally fine. You could use a broomstick, something, anything. And what I'm going to do is fish it through one more time. I'm doubled up, and I'm going straight arms down to the hip. That's it. 90 degrees. We're getting 20. Shouldn't be super tough, but starting to get those lats pumped up a little bit. Pulling down to the hip, getting a little squeeze. We got 20. Once you guys got 20, hopping into the trainer, going super easy angle. I'm at like 45 degrees, nothing crazy. I'm getting 20 push-ups. Nice deep range of motion, good lockouts. Again, not super tough, but getting a little pump across the chest and shoulders. You could go just regular push-ups if you wanted, but really don't even want it to be that hard. Nice deep range of motion, good lockout up top. And we're getting 20. From there, let's head down to the ground. We got a pigeon pose. Get nice and long. Reach with that back toe. Smush the hips down on the ground. And let's go to the other side. From there, we've got hand walks forward and backwards, 2 each way. Once you got 2 each way, find your squat stance, get a little bit wide down for baby makers. And settle the hips down, chest up, prayer squat. And let's squat out of it. From there, heading down to the ground, we got hollow rocks. We know hollow rocks. Knocking them out. We're getting nice and long. We got 25. Make them easier as you need to. Pull up a knee, pull up your arms. All good. Just trying to stay as long as you can for as long as you can. And from there, pop back up to standing. And we'll get on our way with some movements. So I'm going back to my orange band. I want it to be light. I'm going low attachment. I've got kind of a poor contrast outfit, so I'll get nice and close so you can see what I'm doing, and then go back to my band. So my band is going to be here, and I'm going for elbow extensions. So quite literally, elbow extension, what that's going to look like is I'm reaching behind myself. I can see it over my other shoulder as I then reach up and extend the elbow. Simple as that. Essentially, as long as you're feeling something along your tricep, you're doing it right. So you want it attached low to the ground. Arm is behind the head. And then crank it away. We got 20 each side. Give yourself a good squeeze up top, making sure you get to peak lockout. I like to think of a good just 1,000, 1,000. Make sure I've got it. If you don't have a low attachment, so if you're kind of between attachments, you could literally just step on the band. So it's underneath my foot and you could get the same stimulus. That'd be totally fine. It'd be an easier fix for now. Just step, twist it around, go behind, and you're in business. Yep, bingo. This just, it gives a little more options for, I can walk away from the wall pretty well to get some good tension, whereas when you're stepping on it, you're kind of limited to just what you're stepping on. We got 20 each side. Reach up, squeeze, reach up, squeeze. Trying to keep my abs tight, my butt tight throughout. By the time you get to that 20, you should start to feel pretty spicy. If you need more resistance, you can just walk away from your anchor, choke down on the band. You can even slow it down. Always a good thing as well. Okay, let everyone get through their 20. We'll be on a pretty loose timer and turnaround today. Probably about 2 minutes per set. Okay, we're now going back up to that high point. I've now got my thickest band. You probably want a decent amount of band action here. I'm threading it through. And if I've got my handy Dan handles, this could even be a 1 pound weight. It could be a spoon. It could be anything. Or you could just grab the band. That's totally fine as well. Val, I would say you can lasso the band through the top of your trainer. So through one of those little loops in the door, just so you can really kind of crank down on it, as opposed to maybe pulling that shelf over. Okay, so what are we doing with this? If you have handles, throw them inside. And then from there, pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 3, and so on. I've got a total of 20 each side alternating. So I'm standing like so. I row one, row the other, back and forth. Rapid, well, not rapid fire necessarily, but going back and forth. You got 20 each side. Scale your resistance accordingly by walking back. You should be feeling this down into the armpit. Those muscles that run along your rib cage, your bicep, maybe even into your grip a little bit. We got 20 each side. With the band, everything gets harder as you stretch that band out. So trying to make contact, that's going to be the hardest part of the range of motion. Even trying to squeeze and pause for just a moment is a good thing. Once you've got 20 each side, 40 total, go ahead and relax. It's going to get a little bit armsy today. Got some good upper body stuff going. So next, again, if you have your wider PVC pipe, fantastic. If you happen to have something like this laying around the house, or you want to go to the hardware store, or even have cuts of it just hanging out the front door of the gym, that's all good. So I'm going to utilize this plus my band. Now check me out. There's a little bit of nuance to this setup, but once you get it, it makes sense. So here I am, and I'm going to step down into that double loop, like so. Boom, I'm deadlifting away, okay? If I step on it in just a single loop, I'm going to have absolutely no resistance. There's nothing going on here, okay? One more nuance to this, and I'll let you guys get to it, check you all out. In order to increase the resistance, I create a little slack in between my feet. So what does that look like? Well, I step down on it, and then I just pull a little bit of slack. Boom, now I've got a much heavier deadlift to attend to. Okay? Let's see how it goes. Get it set up, guys. So Val, yeah, that looks, as long as it's sturdy, that looks like it'll do the trick. Kirsten, bingo, looking good. Ryan, looking good. Ryan, I recommend, because you have the thinner PVC pipe, to grab with the band in between your fingers, just so that band, you have a little more support for the PVC pipe itself. And Marcella, you will be no arms, folding over for a deadlift. Yes, and then probably a little wider with the hands, just so they're on the outsides of the knees. Okay, everyone is looking pretty darn good. We got a set of 16. Fantastic. So, if you're normally a very good deadlifter, cinching that up in between your feet is very helpful to get some additional resistance. But do this first set, just feel it out, see how it goes. And you can produce what feels like, I would say this feels approaching 185 pounds or so. So you can get a decent crank on those deadlifts, especially once you reach up top. Once you get below the knee, an inch or two, not a whole lot of resistance there, but from knee to hip, you get some pretty good stuff. Squeeze the butt nice and tight. Keep that PVC pipe close. And you can always, of course, add more bands, which is probably what I'll do for my second set. Just throw another band in there. Okay. Next, we're going back to the pipe. I'm going to use my red band, like so. And we're doing a couple more of those straight arm lat pull downs that we did from the warm up. So I get a decent amount of tension out here, pull it down to the hip, and I'm going for this 90 degrees. I've got 20 reps. Good squeeze down at the hip. 20 reps. A lot of upper body day today, guys, with just that one deadlift thrown in there. So plenty of opportunities to get the bis, the tris, the lats all fired up. And then get a little hamstring glute work. Again, temper your resistance by walking it back. And if you don't have one of those PVC attachments, huge help in terms of getting more leverage, sparing the hands a little bit for basically no dollars and no cents. Incredibly cheap, effective piece of equipment. Okay, once you got those, we're getting back to our extensions. Going back behind the head. Walk it out. Challenge yourself. If you find that you're strong here, which you very well might be, walk away and get that good squeeze up top. There is definitely an opportunity to get that tricep all lit up and going here. And Val, your option is going to be basically choking up on the band to make it shorter, so that you obviously can't get any further away from it. We got 20 each side. Nice. Once you got your 20 each side, go back to our high point archer row. Single arm, one at a time. I've got independent handles. I'm cranking away for 20 each side. All right, so we're getting back to that deadlift. Quick review. I'm stepping on my bands doubled up like so. Here are my handles, or threading that PVC pipe in between. The bands are good to 30 feet, guys, so you don't have to worry about snapping them. Especially as that resistance starts to get higher and higher. It can feel like, oh man, are these going to hold? Well, they'll hold. Step inside and crank away. So now I'm up to, I've got 3 bands here. It gets fairly gnarly. Obviously, take your time with it, but you can definitely get some good stimulus here. Going for 16. Standard deadlifts. Apply, keeping everything close. Nice flat back. Squeeze your butt nice and tight up top. Going for that hip and glute pump. Ah. Good times. Whew. All right, we are to our banded lat pull downs. Straight arms, pull it to the hip, going wide with the grip. If your object will tolerate it, if you have a thinner PVC pipe, it's going to be less possible. You can go narrow, that's totally fine. But I'm closing down that space, getting a good pump across my lats. Arms stay locked out for the duration. It gets harder as it gets closer to your hip. So use that opportunity to squeeze, squeeze. There's some good sneaky strength in there. Very helpful for developing pull-up strength, even a little clean and deadlift strength. Just having good lat engagement. Okay, we are getting 4 rounds of this. Onwards to round 3, we got tricep extensions. By now, you should be finding a pretty good groove where those 20 are pretty blistering on the tricep. If you're getting out of this feeling like, no big deal, walk away from it. Get some good pump in those triceps. Woo. You can also slow it down so I can get a squeeze, slow back down, squeeze, slow back down. All about time under tension. And I could always throw in a couple extra reps if I so choose. But the idea would be somewhere in that neighborhood of 20, that tricep's getting some work done. And if you're really strong here, you could always upgrade to the next band. That's always an option. It's about finding the right tool for the right job. Oh, man. Good times. All right. Get back to our archer row. Whenever you were ready, 20 each side. All the same things we just talked about apply. You can walk yourself away from your anchor. You can slow it down. You can squeeze a little harder. By the time you get to your 20th rep on each side, your biceps and lats should be crying. Again, very highly correlated with all of my pull mechanics. This is a direct contributor to my pull-up, my arm strength, and just having those nice chiseled arms. That's what we're talking about. Okay. All right. We'll give it a moment. Let everyone get caught up to wherever you're at. We got deadlifts coming up next. Again, into this third set, trying to get yourself to a spot where you're like, okay, I'm feeling what my hips are talking about here. Gathering up that slack in the middle is a key point to it. So when I step on my bands, just giving a little tug, a little slack in that middle portion, and then I'm ready to rock and roll. Got 16 reps. Woo! Oh, man. Woo! Takes a little getting used to. Takes a little practice. Oh, man. You can get some spicy deadlift action for sure. Okay. What's next? Whenever you guys are ready, wide pipe pull downs. Same stuff we've been talking about. Walk away a little bit. Band's got 30 feet. It is highly unlikely you're going to get them to full capacity. And you always have an extra band to utilize if need be. Ah. All right. We'll give it just a brief moment, let everyone catch up, and then we'll get to this final set. Grab a sip of water if you like, guys. We're in no rush. We got plenty of time. All right, back to the beginning. Triceps. This is your last shot at the triceps. Whatever you got left in the tank. Get a good squeeze, good extension up top. 20 reps. You can always slow it down a little bit. Get nice and peaked out. Next up, arch and rows. Threaded through, final set, same jam. Get some good squeezes. Fire up those lats. Fire up those biceps. Final set of deadlifts coming up as well. Alrighty, guys. Let's hop in. Get some good hip squeezes. Pull up that slack a little bit. Make it challenging. Ooh! I can get a little bit sneaky. Okay. Once you guys are done, last set of lat pull downs, and we'll get into some conditioning and finish up with some nice leisurely stretching. We're getting 20. Good times. Okay, once you guys are all done there, you can just toss your stuff aside. I don't think we need... Oh, no, I'm sorry. We do need some of that stuff. All right, take a quick moment, guys. Hang out, finish up, grab a sip of water. We'll debrief our movements, and we'll get going here in just a minute. Okay, first things first, let's grab the jump ropes once again. If you don't have a jump rope, jumping jack's totally fine. Let's go 40 jump rope or 20 jumping jacks. Jump rope tends to go a little faster, rep for rep. 20 jumping jacks or 40 jump rope. Once you got those, you go ahead and set it down. So our first movement in our WOD is 100 jump ropes or 60 jumping jacks. 100 jumps or 60 jumping jacks, all singles. If you want to play around with it, go single foot, go super fast, whatever, that's fine. But you're just trying to crank out singles, okay? Next is trainer rows. So we are already nice and fired up on our pull mechanic. Really just thinking about getting it as short as possible. So mine's about waist height. That's a good place to be. And just grab yourself a couple of trainer rows. Make sure you have a good height that you like. Just leaning back and cranking them out. I recommend the shortest setting available to you, just so you can settle underneath it and you don't feel like you're falling onto the floor. Just grab 5. All right. First movement, 100 jumps, 100 jump rope, 60 jumping jacks. Second movement, 20 trainer rows. Okay. Third movement is we're getting some band pull-throughs. So you're going to grab a band. I'm going with 2 bands. You're going to need a decent amount of resistance for this. So I would grab your heaviest band. You're going to lasso it around your medium attachment. You could go low if you want. And then I'm going to step through this. And this is going to work somewhat like a kettlebell swing. So I allow my hands to come through. I come up and I squeeze my butt nice and tight. Okay? That's it. I'm thinking the exact same thing as a kettlebell swing. Let's get it set up, guys. And you can walk it out pretty far. Your hips are strong compared to the band. So get some decent tension out there. I'm going to use 2 bands. By all means, use 2 bands. Val, this one might be a weird setup until we get to that doorknob piece. Let's just go with bag swings. So same exact swings that we did from last night, but no power clean portion of it. That should be totally fine. All right, guys. 7-minute AMRAP. We're just cycling through 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 7 minutes. Or I'm sorry, 7 minutes of 100 jumps, 20 ring rows, and 20 band pull-throughs. Okay? Pretty straightforward stuff. We'll get going here in 10 seconds. No time like the present. Starting with your jump rope. And in 3, 2, 1, you got 100 jump rope or 60 jumping jacks.
Alright, how do you set up the pull through? You use the good ones.
Don't worry about that for now. Just go to a bag swing like we did last night. I'll give you some clarification on those. I'm going to send you guys an email with just some setup feedback stuff. Bag swings is good for now. Just trying to have nice, tight, low jumps. Cruise through your 100 jumps or your 60 jumping jacks. Once you got 100 jumps, get in your 20 ring rows or trainer rows. And following that up with your pull-throughs or bag rows. 20 good type squeezes with the hips. And then back to the beginning. About 3 minutes in, 4 minutes to go. I'm sorry, 2.5 minutes in, 4.5 to go. Trying to make this a 3-rounder. Whew. 100 jumps, 20 rows. Nice job, guys. 2 minutes to go. Hang in there. Keep jumping, keep rowing, keep hinging. Nice work, guys. Home stretch. 1 minute left. Keep cranking away. Finish strong, guys. Short time, 30 seconds. Last couple reps, guys. 5 seconds. And 2, 1. And relax. Take a moment. Grab a sip. Hang out. We'll get into some stretching very shortly. First things first. 2 Jefferson curls. Super slow. Take your time. 10 seconds the whole way through, all the way down. 10 seconds. 10 second holding the base. 10-second roll back up. This process should take you a whole minute to get 2 slow reps. Whenever you're ready, we're going to hop into a lizard. That's the first phase of our goat stretch. Elbows down and hang out. Nasal breathing as soon as you can to recover. And let's go to the other side. Shin is stacked vertical. Trying to let those elbows drift down to the ground. And from there, walk it out for puppy dog. Open up those lats. Get the arms nice and long. Try and touch your thumbs together. Walk it out to the right. Reach nice and far with the left arm. Bias that one side. And walk it across to the other side. And then flat down to the ground. Reach out. We got a twisted cross. Try and breathe into it. Open up, relax. And over to the other side. and relax. Well done, everybody. Fantastic work tonight. Kirsten and Val, I still owe you guys an email. Get you all set up, make sure everything's grooving well, get you configured with any lingering attachments. But way to roll with the punches. Looks like you're both doing good so far. Nice work, everybody.
Good. Thank you.
Excellent job tonight. We won't be here tomorrow night. We'll be here tomorrow morning, and then Friday morning, and then back to usual the following week. So see you all at some point. Have a wonderful evening, a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'll see you all soon.
Thanks.
Take care. Have a good one.
Thank you.